Hey, this is Tim Miller with the Bulwark. We have some breaking news right now. Sidney Powell becomes the first member of Donald Trump's post-2020 election inner circle to plead guilty to crimes related to the failed coup attempt. Now, you might recall Sidney Powell as the Kraken lady, the one who kept saying that she was going to release the Kraken that would prove the election fraud that Donald Trump was making up in his head. Or you might recall her from her very first press conference with Donald Trump, where she was revealed to be the A-team, the new lawyer he was bringing in, and then she proceeded to rant about communists.
What we are really dealing with here and uncovering more by the day is the massive influence of communist money through Venezuela, Cuba, and likely China in the interference with our elections here in the United States.
Really serious stuff there. Well, as of today in Georgia, Sidney Powell has pleaded guilty.
All right, Ms. Powell, I just have a few questions for you. Do you understand the nature of the charges that have been reaccused and that you would be pleading guilty to today?
I do, sir.
To 6 counts of conspiracy to commit intentional interference with performance of election duties. I think that word intentional is very clear here. Powell is not, pleading guilty to some random associated crimes. She is admitting in court that this was an intentional effort to interfere with the election. And I think this is going to have major ramifications on Donald Trump's case in Georgia and others. She has agreed to testify. Now, remember, the Georgia case being prosecuted by Fani Willis is a RICO case that has 19 defendants. So Trump has 18 co-defendants. And I think the legal experts out there's a lot of expectation that Willis is planning to flip some of the other co-defendants to get additional testimony against Donald Trump. Just as another refresher on Powell, among her actions, she was one that was filing the petition trying to get to the Supreme Court in an effort to expose the supposed conspiracy that they were alleging about the 2020 election. She was, for a while at least, very prominent in the media, making false claims and conspiracy theories about the election on Fox and on Newsmax. Her statements on Fox are related to claims about the Dominion voting machines that Fox had to pay a lawsuit with regards to. You might remember during that lawsuit, a text message between Laura Ingraham and Tucker Carlson when Carlson writes, "This whole thing seems insane to me, and Sidney Powell won't release the evidence." Sidney Powell is a bit nuts, Laura Ingraham responds. "Sorry, but she is. She's making everyone paranoid and crazy, including me," Carlson said to that. So Fox was going along with this for a while, but eventually, Powell's claims were just so insane and so outlandish that even Tucker went on TV to rebuke her.
So we invited Sidney Powell on this show. We would have given her the whole hour. We would have given her the entire week, actually, and listened quietly the whole time at rapt attention. But she never sent us any evidence, despite a lot of requests, polite requests, not a page. When we kept pressing, she got angry and told us to stop contacting her.
If Laura Ingraham and Tucker are looking at you and saying that you're a lunatic, that's not a great sign. But nonetheless, at the time, the leader of the free world, Donald Trump, was relying on her as a key advisor in his attempt to overturn the election that Joe Biden had won. She was advocating in the Oval Office, in the White House, for some very unprecedented and extreme and frankly scary proposals that were being seriously considered in the White House. Trump had considered appointing her as special counsel to investigate his loss in the 2020 election.
He asked Pat Cipollone if he had the authority to name me special counsel, and he said yes. And then he asked him if he had the authority to give me whatever security clearance I needed, and Pat Cipollone said yes.
Some of the other officials in the White House opposed that idea. Powell was suggesting seizing voting machines. She also was calling for Trump to invoke the Insurrection Act, which would have, granted additional powers to the White House to try to interfere in the election. This woman was at the center of the conspiracy. She was as much of a key player as anyone in giving Trump the legal cover to try to overturn the election. It was not expected that she was going to plead guilty today. She had been previously claiming that, she was innocent of all these charges. So for her to admit to intentional interference with performance of election duties is a big development in the legal cases against Trump, and I think is going to have a real impact on how on the scale of the threat that faces Donald Trump in the Georgia RICO case being put on by Fani Willis, who gets the Bulwark Gold Star of the Day for her work and finally getting Sidney Powell to come clean. More on this here on the Bulwark YouTube feed. Charlie Sykes and Ben Wittes have their Trump trials coming out today, so make sure you check that out. Ben Wittes over at Lawfare will have a much more detailed analysis of this breaking news. Hey, if you like this video and our content, I'd love for you to become a Bulwark Plus member. You get bonus podcasts, you get bonus newsletters, you get bonus takes from me that maybe don't come up on the YouTube feed. You can try it out for free at thebulwark.com/free trial. The link is below in the description. We'd love to have you as a member of our community. We have great commenters and great opportunities for people who want to protect democracy.